Hello, VC. Hello, everyone. I am hopping on the Spell vinyl thread started by Chris Propfe over at Chris Propfe's Musically Obsessed. Now, Chris is known for starting some very interesting threads. I thought this was another good one. So thank you, Chris. And here we go. He wants us to spell vinyl using band names, album names, artist names, or song names. So here we go, starting with a V for Vincent Fournier, born February 4th, 1948. You may know him better as Alice Cooper. That's right, Alice just had a birthday. He turned 75 on Saturday, and he announced he's going out on tour this summer with Rob Zombie. So I hope Rob's ready, because Alice is going to give him a run for his money. Now, I just got this record on Friday. It's Dragon Town. This came out in 2001, and it's the sister record to Brutal Planet, and it is very good, friends. It comes on some really cool orange-looking vinyl. I'll show that in a moment. But this is a heavy album, almost industrial in parts. You've got songs like Trigger Man, Sex, Death, and Money, Disgraced Land, Sister Sarah. A very good listen. I actually prefer this one to Brutal Planet. It comes on this really cool orange wax. Isn't that cool? So V is for Vincent Fournier. It's also for Very Cool, which has been my experience here in the VC over the last year and a half or so. I've met some very cool people. I've learned some very cool things. Next up, I for Iron Maiden. This is their 1983 album, Peace of Mind. I saw them on this tour. They were actually opening for the Scorpions, who were on their Blackout tour. That was up at the old Met Center. Now they've torn that down. It's where the Mall of America stands right now. But this is their 1983 album, Peace of Mind. Has my favorite song on it, The Trooper. You've also got Where Eagles Dare, Quest for Fire, and you've got a backwards message. That's right, there's backwards masking on this album. The 6th track, the song is Still Life, and there's a backwards message on there from the drummer, Nico McBrain. And if you play it backwards, message ends with, don't meddle with things you do not understand. So I is for Iron Maiden. It's also for, I like to share music. It's my favorite thing to do. At this point in my collection, I'm not really about acquiring a lot of music. My favorite thing is to turn people on to new music. It's like making someone laugh. There's nothing better. My favorite thing is really sharing new music with friends. And that brings us to N. And Night Ranger, the Rodney Dangerfields of rock and roll. They get zero respect, even though everybody knows Brad Gillis is an extremely good guitar player. Now, this is their debut record, Dawn Patrol, and it's my favorite. It has Don't Tell Me You Love Me, Eddie's Coming Out Tonight, Sing Me Away, and the song Night Ranger. This is a very good record. Night Ranger, Dawn Patrol. Now they followed that up with Midnight Madness, and this one went platinum on the strength of songs like You Can Still Rock in America and Sister Christian. Every time I hear that song, it reminds me of my sister. But Night Ranger, Midnight Madness, a very good record. Their 3rd record, 7 Wishes, also went platinum. That's that record there. Here's a picture of my wife getting that record signed. Now, we're going to see Joel. This is Joel Huckster. He was in Night Ranger at the time. He's also went out on tour with Cher as her guitar player last year. But we're going to see him in 2 weeks with his new band, the Rock of Ages band. I'm extremely excited about that. Night Ranger plays up here in Wisconsin quite a bit because the drummer is married to a Wisconsin girl. Now I pulled this off a set when off the stage when I saw him down at Wisconsin Dells with Dennis DeYoung. But this is the one I really wanted to share with you. Look at this set list, friends, how crumpled up. It's because it was soaking wet. I went to see him in 2016 at the fair in Marshfield. About the time they got down to Sentimental Street, the sky just opened up, raining cats and dogs, and everybody ran for the exits, including the band. But lead guitar player Kerry Keeley took the time in the pouring rain to kneel down on the stage, peel this off the stage, and hand it to me. That was a rock and roll move, in my opinion. That's like going to Waffle House after you've won the big game. It's very cool. So N stands for Night Ranger. It also stands for new music. Friends, please never quit listening and searching out new music. Now, records, by their nature, instill nostalgia in us. And we're always looking in our rearview mirror, digging out the records we had when we were in high school, when we were kids, or looking for first pressings of old bands and classic bands. But we need to remember to look out the windshield, friends, because that's the direction we're heading. And there's all kinds of new music coming at us. I know for a while there wasn't much new music, good new music being made. But these days, there certainly is. There's all kinds of bands out there making music that you would dig. So please, friends, never quit searching out new music. And that brings us to why. And yes, this is their 1978 album, Tour Motto. Now, they kept the Roger Dean logo here, but they had Hypnosis design the album cover. It was the first time that they let Hypnosis give a try. They always had Roger Dean do their covers. Now, this has a couple good songs on it. Songs I like Don't Kill the Whale and Arriving UFO. This record had big-time sales, too. But the rumor about this is that the moment Rick Wakeman saw this cover, he hated it so much he threw a tomato at it. Now, they've since changed that story and said all members of the band threw tomatoes at it. But I thought that was interesting. So why is for yes. And it's also for you, the viewer. Without you watching our videos and pushing us to make better and more interesting videos, we'd be sitting here talking to ourselves. So thank you, the viewer. Like I said, you push us to make better videos and more interesting videos that we think people will like to watch. And I think that's awesome. Last but not least, L for Led Zeppelin. This is Led Zeppelin 2, my favorite Led Zeppelin record. Of course, there's a couple songs on here that they plagiarized, like Whole Lotta Love from Willie Dixon and Lemon Tree from Howlin' Wolf. But I love this record all the way through. Moby Dick, Ramble On, What Is and What Should Never Be, 1969's Led Zeppelin 2. Now, this is not a Robert Ludwig mix. It is, however, from Canada. And as we all know, pretty much for anything from Canada is very cool. So that's L for Led Zeppelin. But L also stands for love. And friends, you know what the Beatles had to say about that on Abbey Road. They said, in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. Thank you for watching, friends.